On this episode of Mythbusters, we get behind the wheel, ride the rails, and take flight. As we go behind the scenes,
Jamie,
get the inside story.
He, for some reason, forgot to turn off the key.
You're sitting there watching it. Your mind cannot process it.
And count down the top 12 plane, train, and automobile moments.
that was definitely the strangest thing I had ever done in my life up till that point. Today, it's just another day at the office.
Who are the Mythbusters? Adam Savage.
Oh, it's scientific!
And Jamie Heineman.
Is that hot enough for you?
Between them, more than 30 years of special effects experience. Joining them, Grant Imahara.
He's alive!
Carrie Byron.
I was less excited after my first kiss.
And Tori Belleci.
That was the coolest thing I've ever done!
They don't just tell the myths, they put them to the test. Buckle up and stay on track, because it's chocks away for the Planes, Trains, and Automobiles special.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm adding a little special effects wizardry to the opening of the show.
Wizardry, huh?
Yeah, check it out. I could be in space. Or underwater. Or in the case of this particular episode, a plane, a train, or an automobile. That's what this whole episode is going to be about. Our favorite behind-the-scenes moments and never-told tales about anything we've ever had to do with planes, trains, and automobiles.
You mean like when you peed on the third rail?
Exactly. There we go.
Or when you got sick with the Blue Angels?
Precisely.
Or like when you crashed your concrete glider?
Okay, are we going to be totally negative about everything to do with this episode?
No, I'll go along for the ride.
Good. Let's go.
And to kickstart this dirty dozen, where do we begin?
Vehicles have always been fertile for us. You might even say that vehicles have provided the cornerstone of Mythbuster material. Trying to pick out 12 moments in all of these years, it's going to be tricky, but if we're going to start anywhere, I would start with planes.
Yay! Roger that. Because the aviation wing of Mythbusters has been in full swing for some time. And for our first moment, here's Captain Heineman.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. Put your tray tables and your seats in the full upright position. Make sure you have all your seat belts engaged, and kiss your ass goodbye.
It's the magic moment the Mythbusters earn their wings being talked into land.
The pilot has died. For some reason, I'm the one they turn to land the plane. I get on the horn and say hello. Hello, air traffic control, talk me how to fly this beast, land these people safely, man, and he says yes. That's my task.
And to test that, they got their hands on one heck of a big boy's toy.
Over the years, we've been given some pretty amazing toys to play with. The Bloodhound for Beat the Bloodhound. Fighter jets for Sonic Boom.
Holy crap.
And that huge hurricane-producing thing called the Medusa for Hurricane Window. Awesome! But we've never been actually allowed to fly a plane for an experiment. It turns out the FAA is pretty strict about the rules under which someone's allowed to fly a plane, and we don't apply.
But thanks to air traffic controller Terry Rager, they didn't need to take to the sky.
Welcome aboard.
Eventually, we were able to get the next best thing, and we got access to a flight simulator at NASA. Of course, we broke it in the process, but what are you going to do?
But the control, where the guys had to land without any assistance from the tower,
Terrain. Okay. That means I'm really close to the terrain.
went just about as well as could be expected.
I pretty much crashed and burned almost immediately. It was grisly.
Okay, wait, oh, oh, I don't think
think I did so well.
I was really surprised how difficult it was to try and fly that plane with no help and no experience at all. The thing was that all the gauges in the plane, they're not really labeled.
I need to find my speed. Why can't I find my speed?
And inside the ultra-realistic simulator, not being able to find the controls was the least of Jamie's problems.
Don't think. Why is it telling me not to think? Don't think.
We were wondering what sort of narrative occurred at the FAA for them to put this phrase into a plane to start yelling at the pilot under some kind of crash conditions. Don't think?
Don't think. Yeah, shut up.
It was only later we realized that the plane was saying, don't sink.
And after 2 crash landings, enter Air Control Swami Terry.
Okay.
Could he talk our rookie pilots down?
The most astonishing thing was, though, with guidance from our air traffic controller, we were able to land the plane.
Okay, what's your pitch out attitude?
I'm at 5 degrees over.
Very good.
Yep, despite flying blind, Terry calmly and precisely talked not just one Mythbuster,
I'm stopped.
Congratulations, Shavy, you made it.
but 2 through 2 landings.
Okay, pull the nose up.
That plane wasn't going to fly again, but all the people inside of it were alive. It might have been a different story with 300 passengers, but quite honestly, if I'm ever in a plane and someone asks, can someone fly this plane, I might just raise my hand.
Next is a moment about staying on your toes.
Though towing is our best choice when we're trying to crash vehicles because we're not going to drive them, it can present a few problems.
Indeed, and those problems are familiar to every Mythbusters viewer.
It's gonna go into the water.
No, yes!
Which is why occasionally we get professional help.
Specifically in the area of crashes, we've needed a level of accuracy that exceeds anything we've been able to achieve on the show. And in those cases, we've actually resorted to specialized crash test facilities.
Now, these testing facilities, they crash cars all the time. That was so Hollywood! They have ironed out all the bugs. They do this every single day. Except for when we show up. For instance, instant convertible. I don't think that went quite as planned.
Not quite as planned, but it's no accident that this memorable mistake made the countdown.
And we are testing the myth that you can drive a car underneath a semi-truck trailer, park it, cut the top off, turn it into a convertible, and continue on driving. Get in there. All right, good luck, buddy. Myth seemed simple. The setup was simple, but getting the thing to work was far from simple.
10, 20, 30.
Now, we knew the roof was going to come off. We knew we were getting ourselves a convertible.
And 70.
Oh! What we didn't know is that it wouldn't stop. It kept going.
Sometimes failure is not only an option, it's a spectacular surprise.
What's on the other side of that berm?
Uh-oh.
When I watched the rough cut and saw that look on Carrie's face, that mix of fear, panic, and excitement all together, if there is one facial expression that sums up the totality of Mythbusters, that would be it.
Yep, you'd think the Mythbusters would be used to it by now. They should always expect the unexpected.
What I always wanted to imagine is what the people on the freeway were thinking when they saw a car fly up into the air vertically. That must have been a crazy sight.
It was one of those moments where I'm glad nobody got hurt, but I'm also very glad that it went so wrong.
After the break, there's more automotive mayhem.
Well, there's your problem.
And even a flying car. There's more rails, wheels, and wings as we count down the top 12 plane, train, and automobile moments. Next is the story that proves road rage doesn't pay.
I think it's the fact that either rising gas prices hit us all where we live, or the fact that everybody at some point or another has had to tinker with their car. Well, there's your problem. And thus can really kind of get into what we're talking about. We've done truck tailgate up or down, windows versus AC.
This test is being done by professional drivers on a closed track. Your results may differ.
We've done dirty versus clean car and turned a car into a golf ball.
Fact is, it worked. I feel like eating my beret.
We've also tried a whole bunch of mythical gadgets you could purchase, like magnets and super carburetor filters and all sorts of other crap.
This is such total horse.
None of it has increased fuel efficiency by more than 2 or 3%, and most of it hasn't worked at all until Cary Grant and Tori tested whether or not your mood had a large effect on your fuel efficiency.
And it's the astonishing result of Don't Drive Angry that puts this story into the countdown. After the boys had completed driving the circuit normally, Carrie began her psychological torture.
So getting to the truth of this myth is not something that I remember fondly. There are a lot of people that don't understand this. 9 out of 10 people do not understand this. However, that 10th person is like, yes, I totally get you, and I don't like the fish touching me either.
Imagine this. Being stuck in a car, loud noises, blaring in your ear.
You guys got me. Definitely, you did a great job.
A rat crawling all over your body.
Where did those rats go? Where did you go?
You have to... How do you think you would drive?
Well, as it turned out, 3 times more expensively than a mild-mannered driver.
Which says to me that, people who drive angry are going to be angry not only at the people on the road, but they're going to be really angry because they're using all this gas. And then they're going to be even more angry at that.
So remember, to save on gas and cash, don't drive angry. And at number 9, we're bending the rules.
Planes, trains, and automobiles are all very well and good, but when you're talking sheer fun, nothing beats a motorcycle.
We're not strictly within the remit, but the Mythbusters and bikes have a memorable relationship. None more so than trying the Indiana Jones myth that a flagpole could flip a motorcycle.
3, 2, 1, go! It totally doesn't work like that, but it was really fun to dress up as Indiana Jones. Jamie actually got into the character of Henry Jones and called me Junior.
Well, the timing was perfect.
If you say so, Junior.
But that was just a precursor to the ultimate in motorcycle mayhem.
Without a doubt, the best two-wheel story we've ever done is Tablecloth Chaos.
The myth here was that you could pull a tablecloth out from under a banquet table full of settings without upsetting a single dish. But here's the catch: using a motorcycle.
What other story has Jamie trotting out his muscle bike, walking around for several days in full leathers, which he didn't complain about one bit, and then the repeated destruction of flatware and china tumbling onto the ground?
Oops.
I've been riding a bike since before I had a driver's license, so I never miss an opportunity, and especially on this show, because we're often allowed to do things that you're really not supposed to do on a road.
Despite Jamie pushing the throttle to 105 miles per hour, it was impossible to pull off this trick without filmic fakery.
A lot of viewers wrote in after that episode and said, "My bike goes a lot faster than 100 miles an hour. I could have done that stunt." You missed the point. The point was taking off from a dead stop, and you're just not going to get anywhere near fast enough to do that with any kind of vehicle.
Nope, it won't work. Unless, like Adam and Jamie, you use special effects wizardry.
It's busted.
At number 8, it's the myth that a car could skip a lake.
Car skip was one of those stories that happened while